What's up, family? It's Kirk the Creator, and today I want to talk about a certain topic that I think a lot of people have over the years asked. What exactly does a barber make? How much money can they actually make? Well, today in today's video, I'm going to bring you and give you that information from two different perspectives, right? It's going to be on a scale of $35 per client as well as a $50 per client per week, okay? So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy this video and finally get to answer that question. How much money can a barber actually make? But the key thing is not what they make, it's what they get to keep, okay? So in this video, I want to give you guys a visualization, like I stated earlier, of exactly a breakdown, kind of a chart of how much of potential that a barber actually has. Today, I'm going to be using my iPad today to make sure that I stay on topic, number one. Number two, that I give you the actual breakdown of the numbers, because you know it's a lot to keep all those numbers in your head. And three, I'm going to be using what they call a whiteboard animation to deliver this message so you can actually see what I'm talking about and not necessarily have to try to visualize it in your head, but you'll actually get to see it. So every time that I do a breakdown, I'll say back to the whiteboard. Okay? So again, we're going to break down $35 scenario first, and then I'll break down the $50 scenario in different manner. And you'll see what I mean when I break it down, okay? Now, this is the part where I say straight to the whiteboard. Scenario one, at $35, right? This breakdown goes like this. And this is going to show 40, 50, and 72 clients per week at $35 per client. So scenario A, if you have 40 clients, that should be equivalent to $70,000 a year. If you're new to the game or just starting to build consistency, 40 clients a week is realistic. A $35 cut, that's about $1,400 a week or $70,000 a year. Not bad for a good entry point, correct? Scenario B, at 50 clients a week, you're looking at an average of $87.5 thousand a year potentially. Now, if you lock in 10 clients a day, 5 days a week, you're looking at $1,750 a week. That's $1,750 a week. And that's at $87.5 a year. Right in the sweet spot of income that most barbers actually aim for is roughly between the 85,000 and the 100,000 mark. And this is where you can actually start to see that progression if you stick to the 50 clients a week, which is a breakdown of 10 clients a day, 5 days a week. That should show you a return of $1,750 a week. Now, scenario C. This is if you really grind, put into work. I mean, you're just at the top of your game. You'll see 72 clients a week, and that should break you at $126,000 a year. For those really grinding and seeing 12 clients a day, 6 days a week, not 5, you'll hit the $126,000 a year. It's heavy work, but it's going to show you a great vision and potential of hitting that ceiling that we all push for. One of the things that I realized after doing barbering this long is that we try to compare our craft with what the world is offering at a 9 to 5. I'm not gonna disregard that point, but you're still not equating insurance. You're still not equating 401k. You're still not equating employment taxes that the company has to pay for you to be an employee of that company. It's so many variables, right? You got stocks, you have bonds, you have shares. The list goes on and on. So if we can see, the 87.5, or we can see the 126,000, that's raw cash. That's money that we can actually bring in. Now remember, The quote that I gave you earlier was, what you make is not what you keep, right? Okay, so with this, we're gonna go to scenario 2, back to the whiteboard. So scenario 2 at $50 a client, this is the breakdown. A, you'll see 40 clients a week. So that should show you roughly $100,000 a year, right? So now look, what happens when you move from $35 to $50 a client? The same 40 clients a week, but instead of making $70,000 a year, you're sitting at 6 figures now. Now you're at $100,000 flat. Same work, different value. B, if you're seeing 50 clients a week, you should be seeing at least $125,000 a year. With 50 clients a week, that's $2,500. Excuse me, at $50 per client, you'll start seeing $2,500 a week, and that's going to equivalent to the $125 a year. So this is how you raise your prices strategically. Breakdown C. This is 72 clients a week. This should show you a return of $180,000 a year. And if you're really grinding, again, 72 clients a week at $50, you're looking at $180,000 a year. So most barbers, won't choose that type of workload, but that will keep you at $180,000 a year if you stay consistent with 72 clients. Now, let's do a reality check on expenses. This is the breakdown of expenses that, again, what you make is not what you keep, right? So these are the things that you need to keep in consideration of things to make you run as an effective and organized and professional business. Breakdown number 1 is the reality check, right? Which is going to be, again, the expenses. This is going to cover the rent, the insurance, your supplies, your marketing, your utilities, and any other things that you may want to add on to that I may not know about, right? Now, here's the truth. That's gross income. We always hear this gross net. Gross is what you make, but net is what you take. Again, gross is what you make, net is what you take. Everything else in between is expense. So on average, you're looking at $800 to $1,000 a month for booth rent, right? Business insurance, because even though it's not your building or your air quote business, you are the business. So you still have to keep in consideration your protection as well. Supplies for clippers and guards and disinfectant, that's going to run you roughly about 100 to 150 if you're moving 72 to 50 clients a week, right? You got to think about your marketing, which is going to run you about 100 to 150, and utilities on average going to be 100 to 200. And again, these are if you're in a suite. These are scenarios or breakdowns if you're working under somebody else's umbrella. Just put these monies aside. You may think that those numbers are way too high, but if you put them aside and when tax time comes and you already have those aside, that's money that's already accounted for. You don't even have to worry about, oh my God, I need to dig for this money and, blah, 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 pull from rob Peter to pay Paul, when you can just already have it in a reserve for these times, right? Here's a breakdown number 2, net income after those expenses, right? And this is at $35 a client, 50 clients a week at $87,500 gross. Remember, gross is not what you keep. Altogether, you're spending anywhere from $11,500 to $1,600 a month. That's about $14,000 to $19,000 a year, just to operate legally, effectively. So you can always stay one step ahead. Let me give you another breakdown. This is net income after expenses. Now, this is a side-by-side chart that shows, gross versus net at $35 and $50 per client. At $35 a client with 50 clients a week, you're looking at the 87.5 gross, right? If you're grossing 87.5 at $35 a cut, after expenses, you're really bringing home roughly around 68 to 74,000 a year, not 87.5. If you put those things to the side, again, taxes, insurance and all those other things, you're bringing roughly around 68 to 74,000. Again, not bad, right? Now at $50 per client, at 50 clients a week, you're looking at 125,000 gross. Now, at $50 a cut, same workload, you're grossing 125,000. After expenses, you're keeping around 106 to 111,000. That's the power of knowing your numbers and charging what you're worth. Now, I want to address something here. Everybody has a value of what they proclaim that they're worth. It's not for me to tell you that you're not worth that. I don't have that authority, nor do I have that right to even say that. But, it's always a but. There are people that are labeling themselves as celebrity barbers. Let me give you a definition of a celebrity barber from the perspective of what that really means. It's not my opinion. It's just, unfortunately, it is what it is. A celebrity barber is not someone or a barber that cuts a celebrity hair. I repeat.
A celebrity barber is not a barber that cuts a celebrity's hair.
A celebrity barber is a barber that is a celebrity, meaning you're in demand, you are well known, you have high perspectives of being acquired. People want a part of what you have. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna give you two names that we all know in the barber industry, right? Bazio, celebrity barber. He has his own product line. He's in high demand. He's working with major companies and brands. That's a celebrity barber. Let me give you another one that we know as well, 360 Jeezy. Again, same deal as Bazio, correct? They have their own brand, so forth and so on, working with major brands. That makes them a celebrity. That is a celebrity barber. They, in the world of celebrity, can actually charge celebrity prices. You cutting a basketball player hair, football player, baseball player, I don't care who it is, a movie star, you are not a celebrity barber. You should not be charging celebrity barber prices. I'm sorry that ruffled a lot of feathers, and I'm gonna hear it in the comments, but I'm gonna always keep it 100. A lot of people are wearing that brand. Oh, I'm a celebrity barber, so I'm charging 100, 125 for a haircut. I'm sorry. Unless you have a brand that it speaks beyond your numbers and you're in high demand, unfortunately, that does not classify you as a celebrity barber. Okay? Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the truth. That's just the facts, and I'm sticking with it. Now, breakdown number 3. Strategies to scale and protect your income. So this is the part where I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, barbers that come into the game, or stylists that don't have a full understanding of strategies to scale. And to scale mean to go higher, get better, grow further, and protecting your income. Again, going back to my iPad here, back to the whiteboard. Number 1, raise your prices strategically. Do not jump up overnight, but when demand is steady. With that same demand, you're only looking to increase about $5 to $10 bump. Not a huge difference, but it makes a huge difference, right? Remember, it's not a huge difference to the clientele, but it's a huge difference for your income. Point number 2, add-on services. Beard trims is an add-on service. Hot towels is a hot add-on service. Enhancements is a add-on service. Shampoos is a add-on service. Massage add-on service. Hair removal from the ears and from the nose, and even waxing, etc., etc., etc. That's $5 to $20 extra of add-ons per cut. Once I realized from speaking to a couple of people from these two major brands that I won't say their name, but I'll give you the letters, right? And it starts with an S and it ends, the second word is a C. I'm gonna name Sports C, right? Or GC, which is Great C. Read between the lines. I spoke to a couple of their employees, and I found out that these companies make millions a year from just selling products, just selling add-ons. Millions. They're in the retail business. They don't care if your line is sharp. They don't care if your fades are blended out perfectly. They don't care if anything that we as barbers care about, where, you know, that's the quality of our work. They care about profitability, profit margins, growth, scalability. That's what makes them able to, you know, have 3 locations on one street while you still have your one barbershop with your, you know, 3 to 10 barbers in it, or your 2 locations, is because we don't plan to scale. We just plan to make profit. That's it. That's a different mindset that, you know, it depends on where you're trying to be in the game versus where you are in the game and your perspectives on the game, right? So once I learned that about SC and GC, I said, wow, I need to change my thought process because I'm missing out on millions. Not 126,000, not 87.5 thousand, not 100,000. I'm missing out on millions. So selling those products and those services, those add-ons, is what we need to do to go past, you know, those boundaries of, okay, I only do haircuts for 35. I only do haircuts for 50. I only do haircuts for, you know, $100. And now you don't even have to be as concerned if you don't have 50 clientele a week, or 72 if you want to, you know, have back problems later on, you know, sooner than later. You sell those extra services for the $5 and the $10s and the $20 here and there, and your products and your own brand. Again, that's what makes Bazio and 360 Jeezy who they are. They have other streams of revenue. That's what makes them who they are. That's what makes them a celebrity barber and not just a barber that cuts celebrities. Now, in closing, so now that we know the truth about charging $35 an hour on a low scale and charging $50 on a medium scale, right, and $100 on a high scale, we now know some general idea of what that may or may not look like, depending on how we grind and how many services we add on and how many add-ons we add on and so forth and so on, right? So don't just think like a barber. That's the whole point of this video. Show me the money. Don't think like a barber, think like a business. That's the difference between surviving and thriving in this industry, is to actually treat your business as a business and not, you know, something to do, or, you know, I'm here posting on social media for free. I'm not investing in my craft. I'm not investing in myself, but you want clientele to invest in you and your gifts. You have to show the initiative and take the initiative to believe in yourself and invest in yourself. That's where it comes from. You taking it serious, you scaling, and you knowing that you're not just surviving in the game, you're actually thriving in the game. So whether you're just now starting off or you're returning back to the industry, just remember the money is there. The potential is there. This is one of the, I have to say, one of the most lucrative and most powerful entrepreneurial jobs or state of mind that's out there. It's because you control how much you make, you control the audience, you control the atmosphere, you control your potential, you control your scalability, you can control your vacation time, you can control everything. I mean, from the beginning to the end, it's all yours. If you stay consistent, if you stay persistent, and if you treat it as your business. What you put into this is what you're gonna get out. So if this video, if this illustration, if these animations gave value to you and answered your question, you know, as a client or as a new barber or just a barber that never really, you wrote it down and you seen it, but you never really grasped the fullness of it and the potential of it. If this video gave you value, please, please, please share it, like it, subscribe to the channel, and let's have a conversation in that comment section. Let's have a conversation, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm giving out game or I'm blocking anybody from understanding what's really going on out here. Again, I'm now taking this serious and really putting my hand to the plow, not looking back, and moving and scaling. And I want to, on this journey, I want to, like I said, I want to be transparent and truthful, and I want to bring you guys along, and I want to educate barbers and stylists or anybody that's an entrepreneur. You know, I always try to keep it broad, but you know, I have to speak from the lens that I know, which is barbering, and share the knowledge so we can get from point A to point B and get there together and congratulate each other and celebrate each other going forward. So you know what to do. You know the usual, the likes, the subscribe, and all that good stuff. But I really mean that. I don't want to grow my numbers just for popping circumstances. I want to be able to reach more people. I want it to be able to get educated more on my end and actually bring forth some education to you guys on your end. You know, there's another way you can make money is to do, you know, barber trade shows. And matter of fact, I invite everyone to create a product. It doesn't have to be enhancement. It doesn't have to be beard oil, pomades, and things of that nature. Think of something that, always look for a need. If you know that, man, if I had this, or listen to people say, man, if you guys did this, and make it yours, then capitalize off of it. And then share it with everyone so we can help to support you. Again, my name is Kirk the Creator. This is Clipper Connect. And I want to thank you guys again for spending time with me and going through this journey one video at a time. I appreciate y'all. I look forward to the next video. Ooh, I can't wait for the next video. I got something for y'all. And also, I will not be doing any haircuts videos no time soon, because I want to grow more on educating and expressing the things that I'm going through, so no man can feel alone, no woman can feel alone, no entrepreneur can feel alone, and we can work these things out together and grow together. Because I have some secret sauce that I'm gonna share when I decide to start showing like haircuts and stuff like that, okay? Again, Kirk the Creator, don't wanna hold you up. Y'all take care. I appreciate you. Peace.